Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast, and we're doing what we do, watching some Thursday night football, talking about this, talking about that, talking about our leagues and all that shit. Yeah, that reminds me, Kraft. We should drop an episode talking about what we're doing in our leagues.
Losing
and rebound, losing,
we're
unlucky, losing. Hey, I actually got a couple I'm winning in. Got some that I'm tanking in. I'm the anti-tank guy. Here I am, just full out, all out tanking. But anyways, with that said, Crab Man, what's going on, big dog?
Nothing much. Watching this game, it's kind of funny when you're, trying to compete and you're losing, and then you're in a rebuild and you're kicking ass, and you just keep winning games, ain't it?
I wouldn't know. I'm just taking L's. But it was funny is though, Crab was like, I was saying that in that league, Doo-Doo Dynasty, I'm not like necessarily not putting out my best lineup. Like I'd be putting out my best guys and stuff. And then I'll see all my wide receivers. They'll be having good games. I'm like, all right, I'll go check. I'm probably winning this week, I bet. Get my ass beat. Like I'm just getting killed. I'm like, damn. Drake London had like 25 the other day. Like, what the fuck? How am I getting beat? I got a 4% chance to win. I'm like, what the fuck? Chris, what's up, big dog?
Not much. Watching these games. Mine's kind of the opposite in the doo-doo league. I'm sitting pretty good.
Yep.
I'm sitting pretty good.
Chris
4-2.
Going it.
You ain't got a chance, Chris. You ain't got a chance, man. Coming for you.
He about to come get Ridley. He ain't gonna be sitting straight.
I don't want to hear nothing from that bum ass Division 1, man. That bum ass.
Yeah, man. For those who don't know, we did that league way different. Definitely one of the most different leagues that we're in. We got divisions. We got regular season. You get money for winning the regular season. What else we got going on in that league, Kraft? We got a few things going on. After 5 years, whoever's got the best record after 5 years, 3 years, 3 years gets X amount of money. We encourage winning in our leagues. How about that?
Damn, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, we try to encourage winning, but while we're on the topic, like, what is the correct? Like, I luckily I haven't played Dynasty long enough where I've been in a full tank or full rebuild yet. What's the correct way to go about it? Like, do you put in your best lineup every week? Do you? You got to fill a lineup, but do you put in guys do you bench your best guys? Like, what's the morally, what's the right way to go about it?
Man, look, I'm big on this one. Gotta fill your lineup. That's really all I care about. Like, if you just set your best players, I don't really care too much about it. It don't really bother me too much. But you gotta set your lineup. Like, you can't have your whole fucking lineup blank. Like,
yeah, that's the way I looked at it too. Is like, if you're willing to bench, like, leave one spot empty. Like, what's the difference between that and leaving all the spots empty?
Yeah.
Yep. It'd be crazy to have nobody in your lineup. Like, you just rolling like that. Gonna lose this year. Just leave everybody blank. Your bench is like, your list is, you gotta scroll a lot of. I don't know, man. I just say fill a lineup, man. I remember we had but listen, I'm a little different than everybody else in other ways too. Like, I remember in our home league, Chris, we had a big debate with something going on. Like, these two people were in a close matchup, and the team that was winning only had the defense left to play. And I was like, nah, that motherfucker should have to play that defense. Fill that spot up, damn it. And everybody else was like, nah, you shouldn't have to, and stuff like that.
It was me.
It was you and Jordan or something, wasn't it?
Yes, it was me and Jordan, and he said that he don't want to put in the defense because he could lose.
I mean,
he was trying to justify it, but I mean, it was true, but it was like very unlikely.
That's smart though. I've actually done that in a redraft league. I just let the league know, like, hey, I've already won. I'm not playing a defense because I can get negative.
That's the main thing where I stand, which I hope he's listening, which is the main reason why Dunk owes me some motherfucking money from last year, complaining that Jordan didn't put that kicker in that one time. Y'all could justify him not putting in the defense that time, but you can't justify him when it comes to money, him not putting in that kicker on accident.
Yeah.
It's just the hypocrisy of some things. Pay me my
What
money.
did he do
Dunk.
with the kicker?
Me and Dunk had this big bet last year about who would finish the highest, and I beat Dunk or whatever. I finished ahead of him, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not paying you money because in week 4, Jordan didn't set his kicker in." And he would have beat me if he would have played his kicker, though. Like, it was definitely close. It just the fact that it even came down to that was crazy. He's like, "No, week 4, Jordan didn't put his kicker in." So,
So it doesn't count.
I think he owes you some money.
so where we stand on that, like, I just say when it comes to tanking, just fill your lineups. I mean, heck, but what's funny is Chris is the other day, one of these weeks, in my win, I didn't even have a defense in there, and I beat somebody. So it's weird how shit works out sometimes.
What happened there? Just
Yeah,
forgot.
I don't know. I don't even know. I think I went to another week and put a defense in and didn't do it for like that
Yeah,
week or
sleeper
something
app can be
weird.
like that, and you be having to pay attention on that sleeper app.
Hey, no joke.
Yeah.
While we even on this subject or a different subject, I moved. I remember one time I had already won, or I was like easily gonna win. So I had CD. He was like the only person left in the play. So I went to the next week. I started setting my lineup. So CD, he wasn't in the lineup that week. I think he had a bye. Then later on, they're like, "Matt, why'd you take CD out?" I was like, "I definitely didn't take CD out. Like, I just had a blank spot sitting. I was like,
Oh
damn, I'm glad y'all said
no,
something about that. That
I
shit."
think wasn't we recording and CD was playing, and I was like, "Oh shit, dude! CD just caught like a 60-yard fucking bomb for a touchdown." I think.
I can't remember, but I just remember it fucked up because I was like going to different weeks and for some reason it moved him still. I was like, y'all know I wouldn't do that shit. Like, just set him out like for no reason. I'm take the L. I'm just gonna lose this week. No, but
I would rather lose than play CD's bum ass.
fuck that. Hey, I guarantee you there's some fantasy football people out there like, I'd rather lose than play Deshaun Watson. Coming into the season, man. I ain't playing him. People are they get into their morals and stuff in fantasy football. I'm like, this is the fake stuff, guys. Like, it ain't like
They're gonna be
I don't
like,
care. I'll play Greg Hardy, goddamn it. I don't give a fuck.
"Oh
Oh
fuck,
man.
Travis Kelsey! I seen him drinking that Bud Light the other day. Fuck that shit, man."
Sold his soul. Out of my
Sold his
lineup
soul.
now. I will not play Mr. Pfizer. So that's just that's just funny, man. Anyways, man.
That's
With
when you
that
trade
said,
them. That's when you trade their ass. You don't just not play
Nah,
them. You trade their ass.
no, because if somebody else has them, they might play them. Dude, like they can't see play. You have to keep them.
he ain't in my lineup. He's in nobody's lineup. People, if they listen to this our podcast for the first time, they're like, "What's wrong with these guys? They ever gonna talk about something, man? They just they under the influence for sure." All right, well, shit. Tonight, hey, what we been doing? We doing some of this. What we been doing? Me and Kraft, we don't really get into the waiver wire shit. We're not really doing. We like to talk about what's going on in the league, players, things change. What are we doing? Like, if we have them, if we're contending, if we're rebuilding, we like to get into that kind of stuff. We're gonna get into some of that stuff. Maybe a little more redraft tonight. We don't shy away from the redraft content. We still like to get into it. So we're gonna throw out some trade targets. Redraft, maybe a little bit of Dynasty. Talk about Kyler for a little bit. Maybe bring up Kyler. What we doing with him?
Yep.
But other than that, we might break down a couple trades, and then we're gonna get in, get out, and we're gonna finish watching some football. And I picked the under tonight, and
There
so
you go,
it's sitting
Crab.
okay.
I think
What's going on?
ETN just hit your 19 and a half.
Oh, did he get some receiving yards?
Yep, he got about 8. So
That's all I needed.
I'm going against ETN in a couple leagues. I'm going against Ridley tonight. I got a big matchup in the home league. The Mills got ETN going off, but he's got Ridley goose egging right now, so it's not all bad. Not all bad.
Yep. We need to talk
So-
about Ridley too. I got a couple things I was thinking about with him. We can bring up later on, but I really don't want to talk too much about it because it has something to do with a player I like from Chris's team. Unfortunately.
So, all right, let's just redraft right now, Kraft. Redraft trade targets. Throw me one.
0. There's nobody. Don't trade anybody to anybody. Like just
You gotta
never
hold.
make trades. You gotta hold all the time.
Yes.
Nah, there's some. All right, so I mean, my first one on the list, I feel like we all had him. He's probably the most obvious. Is old T. Higgins, man. T. Higgins. I really think that by the end of the year, he's going to end up close to where we had him ranked at. He hasn't really done much so far because, I mean, you can make excuses for him, but Joe Burrow was struggling the first couple weeks of the year with the calf injury. T. Higgins or Jamar Chase wasn't doing anything. And he's had one good game, but then he had a rib injury and missed half a game. Came back. He was more of a decoy. I remember when we were talking start sits last week, I said T. Higgins is going to be a decoy next game and probably ain't going to get anything, but this is the time. He's on a bye week. If a team got him that, say, 1-5, 2-4, and T. Higgins is on a bye and they need somebody to put in their lineup, this is the perfect time to go get T. Higgins. I can't think of a better time to send an offer out there. Y'all got any players like in mind that?
Garrett Wilson.
That's a good one.
I want to trade him for T. Higgins right now. Nah, I'm just kidding. Honestly, Kraft, I've been stuck holding Garrett Wilson, so things have looked a little bit different. But T. Higgins right now, let me look at it. But I think his numbers suggest this man is the wide receiver. Ooh, that can't be right. Kraft and PPR is the wide receiver 65. Is that right? Can't be right.
That's probably right. He hasn't done anything. Let's see. Let me go to his game log. So week 1, he put up a goose on 8 targets. That was that rain game in Cleveland. You remember that game? And Joe Burrow was limbering. The second game, he had 24 points with 12 targets. And then week 3 against the Rams, that was that game where Joe Burrow just stood there against the Rams and did not move. Like, people were worrying if he was going to be in or out that night. Like, he did not move in the pocket. It was a big Jamar Chase game. And then the last 2 weeks, he was hurt. So, and he missed a game against Arizona. So,
could you go lower? Could you throw lower than Garrett Wilson? Like, Garrett Wilson's still the wide receiver 21. Could we go I don't even know, somebody lower on the scale? Could you toss Calvin Ridley out there and get T. Higgins in redraft? It's like the wide receiver 26-ish, 25-ish, something around there. Could you do that, Kraft?
Yeah, I think I would rather have T. Higgins than Calvin Ridley. I think I'd rather have T. Higgins than George Pickens. George Pickens is wide receiver 22. What do you think, Chris, in redraft?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
That's tough.
It's tough.
Would you
man.
just avoid it? Like, do you not agree that he's a somebody to go get? Like, which is fine. Like, do you just think this is going to continue? You just think it's going to be a bad season for him?
I mean, not necessarily that. I don't know. That's just both of them could step up, easily.
Both on
what
good
about
offenses.
Jordan Addison?
I just think for right now with Jordan Addison, his value is probably the highest that it's been. That it's gonna be this season, probably.
Shoot,
now his next 4 games, he ain't got JJ, so he's gonna be trying to get most of the target volume with him and KJ Osborne.
Yeah, I won my DFS. I had Osborne up in there, so
you did win it. You won the double up.
I sure did. Let me make sure though. But yeah, yes, I did. All right, yeah, I'm with you. That one's tough. Addison, I liking Addison this year, but I don't know. That one's tough, man, to go get Higgins. I do think Higgins is the buy low. I just want to buy low and go lower than even those guys if I could, but I don't know if you can. Like, what about a Tyler Lockett? Could I slide a Tyler Lockett over there and get a Higgins? Can't do it.
Nah, I don't think
Nah.
so. Tyler Lockett hadn't really been doing all that much. What about maybe like a Drake London?
Ooh.
Who would you rather have there?
I think I might go Higgins because the Falcons are gonna get back to their old shit. I don't know if this trend with. I think last week Drake London and Kyle Pitts had good games. I mean, how often is that gonna happen? Didn't Jonnu Smith score too?
Mm-hmm.
Man, Ritter to the moon, man. Hold it down. Give that man some help.
I think you could trade probably last one with Higgins. I think you could probably trade Puka for Higgins plus. Get another little bench piece. Get another bench piece. Get Higgins plus. I mean, Higgins could outscore Puka by himself rest of the season. I could see that happening. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And then you might can get like a Jaylen Warren on top of it or something like that and redraft. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
The moral of the story is go get Higgins. Go get him if you can. It's them damn Clemson wide receivers, Chris. They ain't no good. What happened to him? He changed that number. That's what happened. That shit ain't the same. That it ain't hitting right.
It doesn't look right when you don't have like you're not in the 80s or something. But I mean, Jamar Chase is what number one.
Yeah.
Higgins is like number 5, and he was like 85 last year or something like that.
Yeah.
Trying to be Chad Ocho or whatever.
I see in college, Higgins was number 5, so it always looked weird for me that he was number 85.
Yeah, I'd be looking for him on the field. I'd be like, "Where the fuck T Higgins at?"
With that
I'd be like, "Why is Ocho Cinco in the game, bro? What the fuck?"
Man. All right, next another redraft target to go get. Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood Brown. You probably should have been. Hollywood's had a good year, better than what I thought he was going to have. And I'm a Hollywood. Shoot, I'm probably like his biggest supporter. I was kind of fading Hollywood this year, but I was like, we'll go buy a Hollywood low this year, like, while all these shenanigans are going on. I guess my question is what's it look like when Kyler gets back? Like, Kyler's going to be a little rusty, new offense, all that stuff. And I like Kyler, and I ain't I ain't one of them Kyler haters out there. Maybe in real football, a little bit, but Hollywood having a good year with bums. He can go off with Kyler.
I mean, he was great with Kyler at the start of last year, but like you said, Kyler's learning a new offense. He's coming off of ACL, so I mean, you might have some down weeks from Hollywood, like the first 2 or 3 games Kyler comes in, but I think they end up clicking after a while. I mean, I want to say Hollywood. I can't see it here, Matt. You might have to look it up, but I think last time I checked, he was like wide receiver 14 on the year.
Yep, I'm looking it up right now, but this is going to be PPR. And PPR, he's wide receiver 17.
Yeah.
So he's good as fuck.
Yeah, he's
under
been
the
really,
radar.
And the targets, too. Since week 2, he's had 10, 7, 10, 10, 11 targets.
I just feel like Hollywood does not get enough respect that he deserves, especially among the fantasy community. I don't know what it is. Like, sometimes the media and the fantasy, they just like certain players, and they hate other players. Like, they love Jerry Jeudy, but they hate Marquise Brown. Like, that's just one I just don't understand that type of shit. But
yeah,
I mean, can you even buy low on Hollywood? It's like you just said, he's the number 17 wide receiver.
I think you can buy low because, like you said, he's just one of them guys that his name, it just ain't popular. You know, Calvin Ridley's name, for some reason, is just everybody loves Calvin Ridley. But even in Dynasty, I would rather have Marquise Brown than Calvin Ridley, and I think you can make that trade today if you wanted to try to do something like that because Ridley just has that hype around him. Like he had that Jerry Jeudy juice going on. So I think you can trade for Marquise Brown. I don't think people have really realized how good he's been.
Let's go ahead and toss another name out there then. One that you had tossed out there, Devontae Smith. He's, been coming down some. I think I just seen he got hurt, right? At midweek practice. Yeah. Got hurt. Is that true, Kraft?
Like a hamstring or something like that.
Uh-oh, man. A hammy.
Upgraded to limited participation on Thursday. So they said he was out, but they upgraded him to limited practice today. So it looks like keep an eye out on Friday's practice and see what it looks like, because Friday is the most telling day. He gets a full practice in or even a limited, it's a good chance he plays this week.
Yeah. I would. Yep, Devontae Smith definitely, and maybe since this little news came out, maybe the whatever the window's even lower. What do we got to give up to go get Devontae Smith though? Kraft started off hot, cooled down a little bit, and AJ Brown's going off.
Yeah.
Maybe Devontae Smith needs to go pitch a fit on that sideline for us, so he can get more targets, like AJ Brown did that day.
I mean, what do y'all think with Devontae Smith and redraft? Like DK Metcalf? Would you trade DK for Devontae Smith, or who would you rather have in that sense?
I'd rather have Devontae.
I mean, it's pretty much. I feel like Devontae Smith the same names as I threw out with T. Higgins, George Pickens, Garrett Wilson, maybe like you said, Calvin Ridley, Drake London.
If you in my redraft league, coming for you. I want Devontae.
Hey, what do you want, Devontae over Garrett Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But Garrett Wilson, I ain't gonna hate on too much. He's still the wide receiver 21 in half PPR, and Zach Wilson's looked a little better. They just ain't scoring touchdowns either, though.
Yeah, and like going over like the running back range, I mean, like Alexander Madison, Jerome Ford, Brian Robinson, something like that. You could throw one of them running backs out there and maybe get Devontae Smith.
I'll definitely take Devontae over all them bummeroonies.
But they've scored more this year, bummeroonies. I like that. That's a new one.
Oh man, let's just throw out a few more redraft names out there, and then we'll talk a couple of these dynasty guys that we want to talk about.
No, go ahead and just send a nice one in the doo-doo league to old Duncan. Just send him a trade.
What you send?
What you got?
I sent him I sent him Austin's 25 first for my boy Carolina Panther Adam Thielen, who is right now number 3. Is the number 3 wide receiver in fantasy.
Is he the number 3?
The number 3 wide receiver in fantasy.
That shit cray.
2025 first. You're going to get that trade done.
I believe
that's got to get accepted right now.
He should accept it.
And Chris, think about how ready your team's going to be when you come get Ridley from me, bro. That shit's going to be crazy, man.
I've got the better of the two. I don't want Calvin Ridley.
Oh, man. I do believe that trade gets done. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you pass that up? But the thing is, Dunk's going for it, too. It's one of those little decisions where it's like,
go for it, 3-3. Nah.
It's just tough. It's tough. But I'm with you.
I'm over here talking shit. I've only got one more game won than him. He's trash, man.
If you 3-3, you are trash, man. That is not where you want to be in Dynasty, man. You need to be at the top. You need to be at the bottom. You don't want to be sucking on the nips of the top dogs.
Oh, man. All right, Kraft. Just list them out, man. All the redraft names that you want to go target right now.
All right. Just quick. James Conner, he's on IR. If you're a winning team like 5-1, 4-2 like me, go try to get you some James Conner. Give somebody a player that'll help him right now through these bye weeks. Jonathan Taylor, Saquon. Just went and bought Saquon. Some people just
What you buying for, Kraft?
You don't want to know. You'll call it collusion.
Toss it out. Let's see.
One of my main straightaway targets, I got him for Zach Moss and Marquise Brown.
Ha! Colluded, man. I'm about to start.
Zach Moss's start to the year has been disgusting, and he's still getting touches with Jonathan Taylor out there. He's just playing that good. It's kind of hard not to give him the ball, you know?
Nah, I'm just kidding about collusion. I mean, Marquise Brown we just said he's a wide receiver 17. Saquon's been banged up. Good time to get out of Zach Moss, though, I feel like. So
I think that's one we got to talk about, man. I'm really on the side of as soon as Zach Moss comes out and has like a 4-point game and gets like 7 carries. He had 7 carries last week. That's it. but he had a touchdown and like 5 or 6 receptions. So kind of saved the day. But as soon as Zach Moss comes out there, plays 40% of snaps, puts up 4 fantasy points, 5 fantasy points, you can't trade him anymore. Everybody's going to be like, oh, the takeover's over. So now is the time. And if you haven't traded him by now, you better hope for one more good week. And then that is the time. I don't think it can continue. But Chris thinks it can.
For who?
Zach Moss.
I mean, I don't know if he's gonna be dropping like the yardage totals, but I mean the touchdown number, like he could be getting a lot of touchdowns if they're running him on the goal line or in the red zone.
Yeah, I mean the touchdowns could be there, but I mean, what do we think about this offense though? Like, are they really going to be in the red zone all the time, giving Zach Moss goal line carries?
I don't know.
I'm a Minshew fanboy.
I was just about to say I love Minshew, man. I think that he's a great quarterback. Josh Downs been looking pretty good. I played Josh Downs last week. I put him in the lineup in the doo-doo league. Got me a touchdown at the end of the game, dude.
Dang, same, Chris. Same. I was throwing old Josh Downs out there too, man. My guy, Josh Downs, who I've loved from the get.
Yeah, okay.
I just think with Minshew out there, they're going to be giving the ball to these running backs and throwing the ball because they don't have Richardson out there. He's going to run the ball. You know, he's got design runs for him. Minshew, they may have like a trick, you know, like a RPO where Minshew runs the ball for like a few yards, but he's not going to break out for a 45-yard tutty out of the middle of fucking nowhere, you know.
Yeah. Any more trade targets, Kraft?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a trend with my running back trade targets. It's guys that's been injured who are coming back because the value isn't what it was at the start of the year. I mean, Austin Eckler, you can get him for cheaper than what people paid at the start. He's still going to be probably just as good as he was going to be if he didn't have his ankle injury. Aaron Jones coming out, hamstring.
What's it take to get Aaron Jones, man?
Oh, man. Let me look at the leaderboards and see. I mean, truthfully, I'm always on the side of getting the best player and trading two medium guys to get them. So if you can throw out a Brian Robinson and a James Cook in a redraft league, if you got a little bit of depth, go get Aaron Jones, upgrade. I mean, it really depends on where you're at because if you're a losing team, like 1-5, 2-4, you need depth. That's what you need. And if you're a winning team, it's good to keep piling on great names and maybe sacrifice a little depth to make sure you got the best team headed into the playoffs. But, I mean, those kind of trades make sense for both, depending on what teams are trading. Do a little 2-for-1 deal and 2 medium players to get a great one.
Sounds like so. Listen to the Kraft, man. Go get these guys. Target them while you can buy them low. All that good stuff. All right, man. Let's switch from the redraft. Let's get over to some Dynasty talk. Because we're going to talk about motherfucking Jahan Dotson here for a sec. What are we doing with Jahan Dotson? Well, here's my opinion. What we're doing with Jahan Dotson. I'm going to buy Jahan Dotson. I'm going to go buy him. I think he's good. I think whatever's going on up there, they ain't using him right. Heck, I seen a little picture of him today working with a special teams coach. So that shit would be crazy. But they gonna shoot the Redskins might Antonio Gibson Dotson's ass. You good? Okay, now go play special teams and do other shit. Sit on the bench. We're gonna draft somebody else. But heck, my opinion is go buy low on Jahan Dotson. How do y'all feel about it?
I mean, what's low? Like a second rounder, send a second out there?
Hey, definitely toss the second because he was going in second round of rookie drafts. I'm not gonna sit here and I mean I could throw a first. I mean, yeah, sure. Throw a first out there depending on what your team looks like, but throw a second out there first. This dude ain't doing shit. So you could get him for cheap. Kraft, it's like me and Kraft, we said something before the pod started. I said Romeo Dobbs for Jahan Dotson. That's tough.
It is tough, especially to a Packers fan who wants a Green Bay Packer on their team.
Man. I want Jahan Dotson in the first.
Yeah,
That trash.
I
He
told
is
you I got
trash.
Christian Watson. I'll sell him.
For Jahan Dotson, sure.
Fuck no for not no Jahan Dotson.
I mean, that's what we were talking about, man. Don't change the subject.
Nah. We segued.
Oh man. So basically, Jahan Dotson, I'm not panicking. Like a lot of people are panicking. Redraft, I'm panicking, I guess. But Dynasty, from the Dynasty perspective, I'm going buy low. He's good. He had a good year last year with some of those bums. Dang, you know what? It's so funny, man, Chris. You offered that thing. I've got a text. I'm in a little group message with Killer Dunk. Dunk just said, "How y'all feel about Thielen? Think he'll keep it up?" And he said, "I just got offered a first for this guy."
You gotta sell him, man. I'm sorry, Chris, but I mean, if it helps you win a championship, it doesn't matter. That's the way I always
But
say it.
and the thing is too, it's your first next year. Your team's gonna be fine next year. Like I've still got 2 more first round picks next year.
And you making me grin over here, man. You saying my team's gonna be good next year too?
Yeah, probably.
Damn. I like it when people compliment. Makes me feel good about myself.
I'm about to message in the group chat and be like, Dunk, if you want to talk about our trade with Matt and Nikhil behind my back, just accept the motherfucker, dude. Like,
Oh man, that's just so funny, man. I know that's tough. I think that deal gets done. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just tough. Like,
you should message him back and be like, Nah, Thielen's ass, bro. Smash that.
Yeah, that
I don't
one's
think
a 25 first for Adam Thielen, who you probably couldn't even get him for a second at the beginning of this season. Like, or yeah, you could throw a second at Thielen and they would
maybe a
probably.
third.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, we're down there in that low. It's just those things like the value. It's like the same thing I was saying about Puka. Like, I just got him to start up in the 21st round. Like, a first, it's way up there.
Yeah.
Thielen, it's like, dude, this a first is way up there for this guy. So, wish somebody would offer me some shit like that. Josh Downs on the block.
Didn't we
in the
just
home.
mention in the last episode Thielen to go buy him for a contending team? Or Tyler Lockett, somebody like that?
I mean, Thielen's definitely a buy. How about this? If you're just straight up all the way going for it, I would buy it. Buy it for. I like Chris. He's fucking going for it. He's buying him. 25 first. He can make up a 25 first if he needs one later on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's a bad trade.
It's the game of Dynasty. Once it goes through, some of them are going to be texting talking about collusion, man. I can't believe somebody.
And then I'm just going to go right over here to Adam Thielen's name, and I'm going to pull up targets, 9 targets, 14 targets, 8 targets, 13, 11 receptions, 11 receptions, 11 receptions, touchdown. I mean, he's going the fuck off.
I'm going to be the first one saying
we literally have nobody to throw the ball to. We have literally nobody to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Collusion is such a funny topic anyway. Like, why would anybody try to help anybody else win? Like, I've never lived in a world where I want to make anybody better. Like,
right.
I'm always trying to win. Like, I don't care at all if I help you. Like, you could be my, like, adopted brother that had a hard life growing up. Like, you better earn this shit. I ain't helping you win.
Man, I agree with that 100%, man. I agree with that 100%. Like, in truth, like, I think in the home league, like, there's probably, like, I don't feel like this way. Like, I think there's probably certain people don't want certain people to win. Like, in my opinion is, I don't want none of y'all motherfuckers to win. Like, I didn't even want Chris to win last year. Fuck Chris. And who won the year before? Mike? Yeah, like, what the fuck? I don't want none of y'all winning this shit. I just want to win, so I would never help nobody out. So, collusion is funny. Teaming up. We're going to start teaming up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I guess we'll just move on. What else we got out there? Kraft, you wanted to say a couple things about the man, Calvin Ridley?
Oh, yeah. Calvin Ridley. I I had just went to Chris's team today and hearted Christian Kirk. Like, I love him. I love him
saw
very
it.
much.
I popped up. Craftman is interested in Christian Kirk. I was like, oh shit.
I hate how it does that. Like, you did the little heart emoji and it says it's interested. I'm not just interested. Like I want this man. Like in a dirty way. But Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley. Why is everybody on Calvin Ridley and not Christian Kirk? Christian Kirk is cheaper than Calvin Ridley,
which is crazy.
He's signed for the next year with the Jaguars. Calvin Ridley's a free agent. Maybe don't know where he's going to go. Christian Kirk is outscoring Calvin Ridley this year, and I think that's going to continue. So why? Like, I was sitting there earlier. Matt was offering me Calvin Ridley, and I was like, man, I might pay a first for Ridley. And then I got to thinking about it, and then I hearted Christian Kirk, and I'm like, nah. I want to give a first for Christian Kirk instead.
I mean, I'm with you. I mean, go ahead and throw Christian Kirk on that list of people of the players that people hate. People do not like Christian Kirk for some reason. I don't understand. Love them some Calvin Ridley. The Joker didn't even play for a couple years and stuff like that. I don't know, Kraft. I mean, I think it's crazy that Ridley is more expensive than Christian Kirk. It's like you said, like Christian Kirk's getting paid like $84 million. He's locked in for like 2 or 3 more seasons. Ridley's still on his rookie contract. He's probably not even going to be a Jag next year, if we're just being honest. Whoever throws money at Calvin Ridley, that's where he's going to go. He's 30 years old, still playing on his rookie deal. That dude's not. Jaguars are already paying Kirk. They're throwing like 11 mil at Zay Jones or whatever. He's about to get that next year. Evan Ingram just got like a 3-year deal. T. Law's gonna get paid at some point. I mean, Calvin Ridley's not even gonna be on the team next year, so I don't know. That one's weird to me. He'll probably go to some sorry ass team and make a good amount of money, no matter what he does this year, really.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me. I mean, you can ask anybody. Most of the time, people would rather have Calvin Ridley than Christian Kirk, and it's just that name value, I guess. And Christian Kirk wasn't really a high draft pick, was he, in the NFL draft? Like, he wasn't like a first, second rounder. I just think that those things kind of carry on throughout your career. If you're not drafted high and you didn't finish as the wide receiver 4 1 year with the Falcons or whatever with like 15 touchdowns, that I just don't understand. And Calvin Ridley's 2 years older on top of all that. So, yeah, Christian Kirk ain't but 26, and that's prime time for receivers, like 26 to 29.
People don't like Christian Kirk, but those same people will tell you that Cam Akers going to break out next year. Like,
Judy too.
Just Jerry Judy
this
too.
This man going to ask me, would you do anything for Amon-Ra?
Of course. Just be like, no, bro. First for Thielen. Or
that's what I'm saying. Like,
dude.
Yeah, I had Will ask me about Amon-Ra. He's like, I'll give you a 24 second, a 25 first. And I was like, I'm not even remotely thinking about even consider doing that. You could offer me 2 first, and I wouldn't do it. So,
yeah. I haven't tried.
How Dynasty works.
I hadn't tried many trades with Akil. He didn't seem that difficult to trade with.
He's difficult. I'm saying it now. Fuck Akil.
I mean, everybody's pretty difficult, but like, I'm just asking, do Zamil and Dunk, do they do trade calculators? Because every time I see a trade by them, it's always like it's like
I don't think Zamil uses the calculator.
But it's always like 5 for 4, 3 for 2. I'm like, just keep it simple, man. Like, this guy plus this equals this.
Nah, I don't think Z uses the calculators, but I know Dunk does. I even call him out on it. I'll type his stuff in my thing and be like, yeah, he calculated this one.
They're definitely smart, though. I ain't definitely not saying nothing bad.
No, they ain't. Fuck them guys.
I mean, they ain't gonna take no shit deal. And what's crazy is like they get on to you for sending shit deals or just anybody. It's like the things you get in return. It's like, God dang.
Oh man,
that's all. But that's Dynasty though. Like 95% of the trades ain't going through because everybody's just trying to fuck one another. Bottom line.
I'm just kidding, man. Them guys, they'll be on my ass. No, if they heard me say fuck them, then they be on me, man. They get a little emotional with me.
That's
Nah,
what kills me about trades. Though everybody's like, "Man, I'm trying to make you better and me better," and I'm like, "Dude, don't give me that shit. You trying to get better and you trying to screw me some way or another." Like, I mean, if there's a trade that can go through that we do, both sides meet and it works out good, like you need a running back, I need a receiver, let's trade, do this. Like, them things do happen, but most of the time, 90% of the time, I don't really care if your team gets better or not.
hey, yeah, I'm with you on
I
that.
got what I wanted. Fuck your team.
Exactly,
Hey, everybody has their unique, different strategies of trading. That's what I would say. I even changed mine up. I'm not even gonna say it on the pod. I put so much information on what I do. I'm not even gonna say my strategy of trading. I changed mine up this past off season. It definitely was paying off when it came to like actually getting the deals done. I know Dunk, he has his own strategy. Z, he has his own strategy. Kraft, I offered to kill a 24 first for T. Higgins. Where do you stand on that?
I would rather have T. Higgins.
God, he LOL'd me, of course, just like they always
I mean,
do.
it's a mid first, right? Like a mid first.
It's Chris's, so it's mid to late. It's definitely not
Nah,
gonna
that's
be
just
early.
early, dude. That's a
That
101
bitch.
right there.
That's the last pick.
That's
That's
a
the last
112.
pick.
So yeah, they
You
all got
looking at
their strategies.
you looking at like Will Levis territory again. T. Higgins.
But I'll put it like this: ain't none of them guys really difficult to get a trade done with if you really want to get a deal done with them. You ain't gonna trade rape them. I'll say
Nah,
that. Unless
nah.
you're dunking, unless y'all are trading with a mill, they just walk into a trade rape willingly all the time. Heck, well, Chris did that one trade with a mill, and everybody was Duncan Kills hit me up about that one. Talk about trade rate, this trade rate, and I was like, dang, y'all be getting trade rate by him too. I don't even know why y'all keep falling for his shit.
That I'm not worried about. I'm talking about future first round picks. I've got Christian McCaffrey and Saquon. They act like I can't ship one of them off to a competing team for a haul right now. I get offers for Christian McCaffrey almost daily.
You about to get
Let's
one for me in
let's
a
talk
minute
about
while you
that right
playing.
quick. Let's talk about that right quick. What's easier to acquire, picks or players? I feel like picks are.
I feel that on startup, picks are easier and
So
better to acquire during startup. Because you can go through and kind of like mentally look at your teams and you're like, okay, you pick out these guys. Let me go get there first. That you kind of look ahead. But I don't know. This year kind of threw stuff in a bind, though. I mean, if you had told me Raheem Mostert was going to be like the god running back of this year, I probably would have looked at you like you were fucking crazy. I would have been like, that motherfucker's going to sit on the bench and Jeff Wilson's going to run the ball.
Man, I
yeah,
wish I
and
grabbed some
Devon
more
and
Mostert
Devon
best
A. Chain is
ball.
gonna be like the Jameer Gibbs.
Hey, man, that trade with Matt, that was another one that was hated on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting, like I said, I get called Chris Hamm for that trade. I literally just got Devon A. Chain that this dude, before he got hurt, he was looking like he was going to be a league winner. We were like, the first episode that he did that, we said, there's no way that this can continue. He did that shit 2 more times after that. Like, he's
Here's
crazy.
sis. While we on the topic, the truth is, when it comes to dynasty, like the trade has to be like super crazy, one sided or something. Because I learned a lesson about overreacting to trades. Like those trades will look way different in 4 or 5 weeks, and way different after a year, way different after 2 years. Like they
Yeah,
all look different. So you could say collusion, and you could say this person's dumb and this, but shoot, you can look like you won the trade, and then a few weeks later, be taking the L on that thing. So
no, for
that's just
sure.
how Dynasty works. That's
Y'all got
why
any
nobody
trades that went
vetoes.
down? I got a couple. Y'all got any trades that went down recently?
I know we went over a few that went down the last week, but I don't think any's gone down this week, right, Chris? I think we've been stayed clean this past week. What about you, Craft
Yeah.
Man? Throw us out there, those Dynasty.
This week has been crazy, man. Like I think like 11 trades went down in one day in between two leagues within Redraft and Dynasty. It was just it's crazy. Like one trade goes down, and then everybody just wants to jump on.
Yep.
It's like, oh, let's get this thing rolling. But I made a trade in Dynasty. I traded a second-round pick for Darren Waller and Mike Williams. I'm a contending team in a tight end premium.
You
The guys-
traded 1 second and got that.
Yep, I was gonna trade the dude. The dude come to me, and that's always the best when they come to you, and they're like, he said, I said, I'll give you a third. Well, he said, you want Darren Waller? I'm trying to get rid of my veterans and get picks. And I said, all right, well, I'll give you a third for Darren Waller. He said, make it a second, and I'll throw in Mike Williams. And I was like, yeah, that's even better. So we'll go with that. I mean, Darren Waller, he's kind of one of those buy low tight end premium guys that you can get. Nobody really likes Darren Waller.
Nah, I don't.
But he does fine in tight end premium. I mean, let's look at the stats this year. In tight end premium, 1.5 point, 8, 16, 6, 6, 20, 11. Good flex play. 31 years old. I mean, I don't know if you can do much worse than that as like a flex spot. So I'll just throw that in there. But what do y'all think about that?
I would definitely throw a second for those two guys.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck it. I mean, I know Mike Williams gets hurt every year, but heck, you just got him for like half of a second round pick. Like,
Well, here's some. I got another one too for you. If you're done with that one, do you have anything to say with that one? Somebody gave up a 2024 first for Brandon Ayuk. It was probably it's my first. I'm 2-4 right now, but I have the second most points in that league, so I might be on the verge of the playoffs. Hopefully, I can get in, but probably a mid to late is what I'd say. Close to mid first for Brandon Ayuk. Say the 107.
yeah. Ayuk's been really good this year. Let's see. It's
We
funny,
about to
man.
have the trade go down. I told him, I said, you know what? You can even pick whose first you want. He gonna try me and ask for my first. I'll be like, you know what? You can have it because that bitch is gonna be a late motherfucking first, man. Good. I'm
Hey,
about to
more
accept
compliments.
this motherfucker. I
More
know.
compliments for Austin. I love it.
Well, where do you stand, Kraft? Ayuk, 24 first. I'd rather have Ayuk. I'm just being honest. And win with him for the next whatever years.
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Ayuk.
Might not would have said that at the beginning of the year, though, to be honest.
Yeah, I
But
mean, it's pretty close. Noah traded the first, or he traded Ayuk. He's
For the
like
first.
0-5, 0-6.
good deal for both. What I would say, go get you a younger. Mike could have
Yeah.
got more for Ayuk. Toss a
It's
second.
It's crazy. Noah won the championship last year, and as soon as he won, he just sold out. He sold everybody. Mike Evans, Saquon Barkley, like he just stripped down to the nub.
Yeah.
He was like, I won that thing. I probably shouldn't have. And like, all right, time to start over. Got my money.
Break it down to the nuts and bolts of things. Yeah, I think I'll side with Ayuk. Keep Ayuk and win with him for the next few years with him and Brock Purdy.
Well, Levi got Ayuk, and the very next day traded him for Josh Jacobs.
And he's going for it, though?
He's going for it.
I'd have to see the makeup of the team, personally.
Pretty fair, though.
Pretty fair. Josh Jacobs is going to get a lot of opportunities, and I think for like long-term wise, it's obvious Ayuk, but if we're talking about like this year and stuff, Josh Jacobs is going to be up there, gets all that opportunity. That offense is shitty, though.
Yeah. Where do you side with that, Chris? I know you're trying to make trades over there, but Brandon Ayuk or Josh Jacobs?
I mean, are we talking Dynasty?
Yeah, Dynasty.
I just feel like Brandon Ayuk's got like a more secure future than Josh Jacobs does. Because at this point, I was completely wrong about Jonathan Taylor. Like, they got a deal worked out. He's going to play with them. But Josh Jacobs, I mean, I hate to say it, but I probably might be wrong again. But I don't think that he's going to be a Raider. And that kind of throws up a lot of stuff. You go to a new team, they run a completely different offense. You know, I mean, he's having good games now, but it's really just because they suck. You know,
Yeah.
But it's fair enough. Like this is two contending teams. Like I think both of the
Yeah.
teams are 3-3 right now.
Yeah.
Might be collusion. I don't know.
Yeah, that trade is absurd.
Gonna have to
And then-
veto some shit.
Y'all been trying to get ETN. I'm trying to get ETN from Dunk right now too.
Oh.
So I sent him Puka Nakua, my 25 first, and Austin's 24 second for Thielen and ETN. I'm waiting to get the LOL. I'm waiting to get the LOL. And you know what? Then I'm gonna come back and put another first in there.
Hey, I don't.
Chris ain't. That's what I'm saying. I respect Chris's strategy because he's just not stingy with the first. Like if them first are down the line, toss them out there.
Okay.
It's like you remember when Josh. You remember? Crap. I know you listen to the footballers, but you remember when Andy Holloway said he threw a 26 first out there for Zamir White. Like he didn't give a fuck. Like it is what it is. That's 2026. I'll worry about that when it comes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
kinda
you
like
think
that
about
strategy.
trades. Yeah, you think about trades every day. You can, if you wanted to get a first, you can get it. Like you can get it anytime you want. But I mean, you might have to pay for it. But I mean, you can get it anytime you want. Really, late first, really. Yeah. They are what they are. I mean, throw them out there. Like I'm waiting. I contacted Will, and I'm giving my secrets away again, and doo-doo. But I contacted Will. I said, "What's the price on Keenan Allen?" And he said, "Send me something." So I said, "I'll wait a couple weeks because picks don't get hurt, but players do."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I might throw a first at you and maybe a little something else for Keenan Allen. See how it works."
Now,
everybody, if you ain't doo-doo, go get Keenan Allen. Real
Exactly.
Quick.
I mean, this is what you give up when you do a podcast. You give up your secrets, and that's probably why
who in doo-doo? What? We just sending first for Keenan Allen? Oh shit! I'm about to go send one right now.
Oh man, that shit's so funny, man. Yep, you can get all our secrets here on this pod.
When you sit in a truck all day long and you drive around delivering shit, you're just like, what player can I give a first for? Like, that's probably thinking about like.
I really do be doing that. I mean, like, I have my phone sitting on the thing in the van, and I'm just like going through, like, looking at the teams, reading the news that pops up on, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could probably give a first for him.
But Will's kind of on the fringe too, so I got to wait to see what his team's gonna. I got to wait to see where he's headed to. Like he could be in the playoffs also, or he could be, the last man out. So it just depends when it comes down. I know he ain't gonna sell him for a first right now.
Yep, correct. I'm with you. Crap, man. Anything we need to go over anymore? We went through a lot of stuff. I actually kind of like this episode. I hope people like this one too. We talked about a lot of shit.
Got one more. Well, shoot, I got it. Yeah, I think I got one more trade, really, maybe two. But Chris, I want to hear your opinion on this one. My brother traded Kyler Murray in Dynasty for Calvin Ridley and Kenneth Walker. The guy. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little makeup of the team. So my brother is a Superflex league. He's got Matthew Stafford, Jordan Love, and Kirk Cousins as his quarterback. Just traded Kyler. And he actually acquired Jordan Love for a late first, too. That was another trade that went down. So he did that trade right after he got Jordan Love. So his three quarterbacks, like I said, Kirk Cousins, Stafford, and Jordan Love. Traded his running backs are Najee and Aaron Jones. Traded Kyler for Kenneth Walker and Calvin Ridley.
I mean, is it a super flex?
Yep. And the guy who got Calvin Ridley, his quarterbacks were Russell Wilson and Mac Jones. So you think I just thought that was like straight up even, just about as fair as you could get.
Yeah, I do think that's pretty even because like I'm worried about the Najee, and if you're moving in Kenneth Walker, you know that at least you're good right there. And then what you said, Mac Jones was like this dude's quarterback, and then
he was a Trey Lance. He was a Trey Lance guy, so that's why his quarterback situation is shit.
Yeah, you Trey Lance motherfuckers.
them Trey Lance assholes.
That's put him on the list with the people they just loved.
Would you do an Adams and Amon-Ra swap?
What the fuck? Who didn't know? But
he said ETN not moving.
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't when you talking about what you do at Adams, Amon-Ra swap. Like, sit your ass down, Dunk. That shit ain't
The two
happening. You know it's
contending
not.
teams, like Amon-Ra's gonna out. I mean, they're equal in the points scored the rest of the year, and then you get Amon-Ra for the rest of his future. Like that's just stupid.
Yeah.
I'll just take Adam Thielen for the 25 first.
Yep. I would take it and run. Might as well do it. If you're willing to do it and Dunk's willing to do it, make peace and go at it.
Poof.
It is what it is.
Poof, make it happen.
All right, Nick. Crap. One more. I know you got another one. Wasn't there one more you got for us? Oh, here's my opinion on it. I feel like you got Kyler for the low. I would take Kyler, smash on that Kyler side every day of the week.
Even with the makeup of them teams?
I mean, I feel like that dude came out pretty good, knowing that you had Mac Jones. All you had to do was give Calvin Ridley and a top running back.
Yeah, but he fucked up.
Kyler.
He fucked up. Just listen to this next trade that he made about 10 minutes later. He traded James Cook and Brian Robinson for, wait for it, Nick Chubb.
I would not have done that. I'm just being honest. Nick Chubb's more like a buy low type deal. Like toss a second out there.
I told him you could have got Nick Chubb for just one of them guys, probably. Not both.
You could have got Nick Chubb for less than one of those guys.
You could have sent like half of one over there, you know?
Just send James. Just send James. No last name.
Brian Robinson with the bullet in him. You could have got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm on the I wouldn't have done that. I mean, I ain't saying Nick Chubb's injury wasn't as bad as what we thought, but he's still out for the whole year, and I would go buy low on Nick Chubb. If the running back landscape's fucked up anyways. So
yeah, Dunk's on his tear again. He just messaged me. You interested in a deal involving Adams for Garrett Wilson?
You know the dude's trying to make up for throwing 2 firsts for Devontae Adams. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was just trying to get pieces. I was like, I'd give up 2 firsts for Adam Thielen, Devontae Adams. Hell, I might send all 3 of them motherfuckers over to him.
Hey, y'all got to help me with Garrett Wilson, man, because I'm
Would you do it, Kraft? You going for it?
I don't want to do it. That's the problem. I don't want to do it now. I might do it in week 10. I'm not making trades right now. Like, if I can win with Garrett Wilson all the way up to week 10 and then do it, like if both of the players stay healthy and I can see Devontae Adams like just putting up numbers, maybe, but like right now is not the time.
Well,
I'm winning with Garrett Wilson right now. What's the point?
The truth is Dunk, you went out and bought Devontae Adams. You might as well roll with it. I mean, it is what it is. You roll with it. I feel
like when you're competing, like the whole thing with Garrett Wilson, you're not wanting to really trade the player in Dynasty, but if you can trade an asset like a draft pick or something to secure something, you're not really giving up anything yet. Now it could bite you in the ass, but I mean, you're not losing Garrett Wilson, who could all of a sudden just explode. You know,
I would rather like a Stephon Diggs though if I was going to trade Garrett Wilson than Adam.
Well, you ain't getting that done.
I mean, well, it's not going to happen because I think Phil got Diggs, so he's competing too. So that's
shout out to P.
But if it was
Calvin Ridley,
if it was a team that wasn't competing that had Diggs, they would do it.
Phil's another one of those guys too. Like, fuck a 25, 26 first. Like, it is what it is.
AJ Dillon's on the block.
Like, here, you want my 25 first? Fuck it, take it. Give me AJ Dillon. That's why I think it's funny. Like, they was complaining about that trade that went down with Kraft and Noah, and I was just thinking in my head, like, man, that ain't shit. I just saw AJ Dillon go for 25 first not too long ago, man. Like, that was way more egregious. If anything was collusion, that one was. God damn it. I mean, shit. But
AJ Dillon sucks, dude. He is
so funny. AJ Dillon, I ain't gonna lie, came through for me in a run at the end of the year last year in my family league. So I ain't saying he's all the way worthless, but I wouldn't throw a first out there for him.
Oh shit!
And that's what people remember too, though.
He sent me. Well, I mean, dynasty wise, I don't know if you're competing. This might be a decent move. Adam
me?
Thielen and Devontae Adams for Amon-Ra in a second.
Nah.
I'm gonna be real, Chris. I ain't doing
Yeah,
that.
I
Ain't no
wouldn't
way.
do it.
Amon
You gonna
Ross
have to
too
get-
good, man. He's like top.
Nah, he would
5
have to
pick.
give up like
Dude.
ETN and something else for me to
I'm
try to
on
get.
Raw. I'm on Raw. That just lets you know that Dunk's a little nervous in the home league because it's all fun and games when Amon Ra's out and stuff, and you can crack jokes, but when he's playing and shit. But anyways, he's like wide receiver 11, and he's missed a game. So
Yeah, Amon Ross like right there with CD and AJ Brown, man.
he
Like
passed Garrett Wilson on the
he might
Dynasty chart.
have passed CD.
Might have passed CD. I can agree with that. Honestly. Amon Ra's up there. Chris is the Amon Ra guy, man. Dunk should just know he's gonna have to throw a lot to get Amon Roski.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have to at least throw me like Devon A Chain or something. Like, come on now.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
even do it then. You're gonna have to give me a stud. You're gonna have to give me CD and A Chain for Amon Ra.
Y'all think A Chain when he comes back from IR is just gonna be? I mean, definitely not gonna do what he's been doing, but
I don't know.
it's
I think it's gonna be pretty damn good. I'm all the way sold. If you could go get you some A Chain somehow, some way.
what Devontae Adams and what if Chris sent Amon Ra for Devontae Adams and A Chain?
I'd want something different than Devontae Adams. Give me something in A Chain. Give me
He's
I don't
competing
know.
like
Give
what?
me
I mean,
Olave and A Chain or something.
you
like
want
that.
Judy and A Chain?
Judy, while we on it, Jared Judy is a buy low. I hate on Jared Judy as much as anybody. Underachieved. I would go buy low on him if you could get him for a second.
You know what he
That's just
reminds
the
me
honest
of?
truth. He
Chase
reminds me of-
Claypool. Like not the size. Like Chase Claypool's a lot bigger and the different receivers, but like as far as their career path is going, that's what he reminds me of right now. The hype,
Yeah.
everything around him, it just keeps going down, down, down.
That trade that they did last year that Chicago did, man, just laughable right now.
Yes.
But
Pittsburgh's just like, we'll take Darnell Washington
yeah.
with that pick instead of Claypool.
All right, fellas. I think this wraps up our good ass pod. I actually think this was probably one of our best episodes. In fact, we're gonna drop an episode soon about what we're doing on our own teams and stuff like that. Kind of like some of the stuff we talked about tonight. But we'll really get into it though. All of us got a few teams we could talk about. So
Yep. And I'm
But
either
anyway.
1-5 or I'm 5-1. Either one. I don't have a 3-3 team out there. Either I suck or I'm very good.
shit, my most important league, I'm 3-3, and I'm going for it hard.
Yeah.
So, all right, then. Well, crap, man. Anything to say to our wonderful fans out there that are hooting and hollering right now?
I mean, a lot of the people that listen to the podcast, we probably mentioned their names in this podcast. So hopefully,
them guys don't listen. They think we're dumb as fuck. They're like, I ain't listening to Crap and Matt and Chris, idiots.
hopefully they didn't get, if they do listen, hopefully they didn't get too offended. And if they did, they're just a bunch of little punk asses. So, like,
They offended, trust me.
Alligator skin, man. Put on that alligator skin and be all right.
Dunk's headbutt the wall right now. Fucking Matt.
Getting in the way of my trades.
Nah, that's one thing about it.
There we
definitely
go.
wasn't getting in the
It's
way.
done.
I got
It's
a sleeper
done.
notification right now. Doo Dynasty.
Yeah.
Let's just check it out. Let's go
What'd
check
you
it
do?
out real quick. Doo Dynasty. We have Adam Thielen for a 25 first. Chris Artette got Adam Thielen. Big dunk.
And here
sold
come
him
the
for a first.
comments.
I'm gonna get on there, and the first thing I'm gonna say is collusion. Some bullshit. You'll do anything to help Chris Dunk. I'm gonna go in here and be like, fucking Chris Dunk.
Chris Dunk.
Oh man, that shit's so funny, man. I love fantasy football, man. Win or lose,
Who
I
do
still
I
love
drop? I'm stacked, man. Who the fuck do I drop?
it. And as soon as you drop him, I'm picking him up.
Hey,
So,
before you drop them, Chris, send them to me. I'll trade you something.
All right, Chris. Anything
Yeah.
to say to our people out there? No, I just got a trade done. Fuck everybody.
I just got a trade done. Fuck everybody.
All right, well, shit, man. Thanks for listening to the pod, everybody. But we are out.